What would you do if you had the strength to defeat any enemy, but your greatest enemy was yourself? The story of Samson, a man whose immense strength took him to the heights, but also to his downfall. A story of power, betrayal, and redemption that resonates beyond the ages. Is it possible to find true strength in personal sacrifice? Today, we will discover the fate of one of the most powerful and vulnerable men who ever lived. Thousands of years ago, in the land of Israel, a miracle occurred. Manoah and his wife, a childless couple, received a divine visit. An angel spoke to them and told them they would have a son, a man who would be the instrument of Israel's liberation. But this child would not be like any other. His strength, a gift directly from God, would be unparalleled. From a young age, Samson showed inhuman strength. A young man who could, with his own hands, defeat a lion, break chains, and challenge anyone who stood in his way. He was invincible. It seemed nothing could stop him. But as often happens, power without wisdom can become a burden. Samson, with all his might, would soon discover that the true battle was not against his enemies, but against himself. In his life, Samson became entangled in passions that diverted him from his purpose. Delilah, the woman who captured his heart, was one of the hardest tests he faced. She, like many others, saw in him not just a strong man, but an opportunity. Trapped by love and trust, Samson revealed to her the secret of his strength, his hair, which should never be cut. Then, the unthinkable happened. Delilah betrayed his trust. While Samson slept, she cut his hair. The source of his strength was gone, and with it, the greatness that had defined him. The man who had challenged the Philistines was now vulnerable. Samson was captured, blinded, humiliated, and forced to work as a slave in the mines of Gaza. He had lost everything. His pride, his wrong decisions, and his lack of wisdom had led him to ruin. But even in his fall, Samson still had something that was never taken from him: his faith. In his prison, in the darkness of his pain, Samson began to understand that true strength did not come from his muscles, nor from his hair. True strength came from God and from a heart willing to repent. One day, the Philistine people celebrated their victory over Samson, unaware that he still had one last act of strength to offer. With his eyes blinded, his hair began to grow again, a symbol of his spiritual rebirth. Samson, with his hands on the temple's columns, prayed to God for one last opportunity. With a prayer of faith, Samson gave his life to defeat his enemies. Through his sacrifice, he fulfilled his destiny, liberating his people. It was not just an act of strength, but of faith. Samson reminds us that even in our darkest moments, when all seems lost, redemption is possible if we have faith and are willing to sacrifice ourselves for a greater good. His final demonstration of strength was not only physical, it was an act of humility, understanding that true victory is not the one achieved at the expense of others, but the one obtained by giving up what we love most for a higher purpose. The story of Samson teaches us that true strength is not in what we can do for ourselves, but in what we are willing to give up for a greater good. The decisions we make, our weaknesses, and our moments of failure, all are part of our story. But what truly defines our destiny is our ability to rise, learn, and above all, trust in something greater than ourselves. Today, just like Samson, each of us faces challenges. The question is, are we willing to sacrifice ourselves for something greater than our own glory? True victory, as he shows us, comes when we give our life in service of a purpose larger than our own strength. What do you think of the story of Samson? What lessons do you believe we can apply to our lives today? Leave us your comment below and share your reflection. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more stories like this that inspire us to grow, learn, and change. If you liked the video, give it a like and share this lesson of strength and redemption.